So I'm working on a little Python library that helps prototype agentic systems. So it's called TaskFlowAI, and it's essentially designed to be a system of lightweight wrappers that helps you design and orchestrate agentic systems from chains and pipelines to agents and multi-agent systems. So it's really task forward. It supports building deterministic pipelines and more dynamic multi-agent teams. A few of the main features is that it has this modular framework that's essentially based on these building blocks here. They enable you to be able to build quickly and compose and orchestrate these into more complex systems. It comes with these set of tools that you can use, and the tools are available for you to use directly in pipelines or for the agents to use. But they include a lot of API integrations. There's a lot of scraping. We have weather, GitHub, embeddings. We've got Wikipedia, Amadeus. And so these tools will help build a lot of different types of agents as well. And another thing about it is that it's actually a pretty light framework. There's only a number of files here, about 5 files, that compose the base of the framework, which means that it's also a flat hierarchy. We don't have a black box architecture where you can't see what's going on behind the scenes. It makes it a little bit easier to understand, and in the background you'll see there's not a lot of difficult syntax, so you can customize and change the actual foundation of it, which makes it more maintainable over time as well. It essentially allows you to build anything really quickly, from an agent to a website summarizing pipeline. So what does it look like? This here is a very simple single agent, single task loop where we've given a math tutor agent a calculator tool. And that calculator tool is essentially just a function that takes in arguments, including numbers, and whether they want to be adding, multiplying, subtracting, etc. And it returns the output. So the calculator tool is something that the agent can use to answer any question that the user puts in. So we can test that out. We can ask if 30 chickens So here we ask a slightly complex question. It requires an exponential function. It's passed to the calculator, and you'll see that the result is shown here. And once this agent is ready to answer the question after using the calculator, we've got a response here. So in that case, it would be 983,000 chickens produced over 240 hours. And so you can ask anything, even simple multiplication questions, whether they're conversational or just numbers like that. It's going to be able to parse that and use the calculator function. And so there's that really interesting difference between this squishy stochastic LLM and a really deterministic function. And when you give these deterministic functions to LLMs, you kind of get the best of both worlds. It's both flexible and very accurate. So we can cancel out of there. Another example I have is a GitHub issue agent team. So a GitHub agent issue reporting team. So here we have researcher, issue selector, code analyzer, and fix proposer. And we have a number of tasks that involve researching repositories, selecting issues, analyzing the code, and providing fixes to the issues. So this is just a suggestion of one of the things you could build. So it should save to a folder. We'll also print the fix proposal. Okay. So this script's going to run popular Python AI agent repositories with open help wanted issues. And in this case, we're running it with Haiku. So it's searched Python agent repository, stars sorted. It's looked up a number of repo details, and then now it's ready to respond. So here are the 3 repositories it's chosen to take a look at. Now we're listing the repo issues. Brief tool error, and it retried. So it selected an issue from the free AutoGPT repository, issue 138 as the most suitable issue to fix. So now it's actually gotten the repo contents and the file content from, I think it's the relevant file. So it's done its code analysis. And the final response is essentially, for issue 138, it's provided a small snippet of code and an explanation as to why it decided that was the issue to fix and how it fixed it. And so you can see with just a few lines of code, you can define a number of agents and a number of tasks, import relevant tools from the pre-existing toolkits, and with about 100 lines of code, you can get an agent team doing proposals on GitHub repo issue fixes. So if you've used Crew or LangChain before, it's a little bit like that in terms of effect. It's a lot simpler, but in my opinion, a little bit easier to use. So if you want to hit the ground running and build something quickly, you can check out the repo. It's in my GitHub. I'll put the link to TaskFlowAI in the description of the video. So if you have any feedback or want to contribute or anything like that, I'm super interested in hearing anything.